Hello everyone, welcome to another weekly update with me, Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, here on YouTube and on Instagram as well. This is Flosstube number 28. It is Friday, November the 22nd, and I'm filming a tiny bit later because I have Joy-Filled little one here with me this evening. In fact, she is sitting off to the side and promises to be a cooperative audience who is not distracting. We shall see how that goes. So, why is she home on a Friday night? Well, lots of reasons, but namely because this is my mom's busiest time of the year with her business. She does a lot of Thanksgiving orders, and so she is super busy and has to be up at the crack o' dawn tomorrow. So, she is hanging out with me tonight, and I am filming Flosstube, so in hopes that this will go up on a Friday and not a Saturday. Because there's no guarantees. If I was to film after she went to bed, it might not get up before midnight. So, let's see. What's been going on this week? Well, there's been stitching. There's been stash acquiring. There has been getting my classroom ready to close down for Thanksgiving break, which officially started this afternoon after school. We had our big Grandparents' Day musical performance. Set up my class Christmas tree because when we get back, we are out the full week. And then when we get back on Monday the 2nd, they kind of like to have everything swapped over to Christmas vibes. So my tree is up. I may insert a picture at the end of the video. It depends on how much editing I'm going to do of my tree, or I may post it on my Instagram. We'll see where that's going to be. So here's another random fact o' life. So lately I have been on, anybody ever getting those kicks where they like eat the same thing all the time? And like it's all you want to eat. It's the only thing you want to eat. It's all that sounds good. Well, so right now, that happens to me a lot. And right now my kick is egg rolls. And I really like egg rolls in the air fryer. I do like egg rolls from like a local Chinese place. Also QT has really good, Quick Trip has really good egg rolls. But like sometimes I just like to pop them in the air fryer and have them. I got some at Sam's Club. They're okay. They're not great. So here's where I need some help from anybody else who is a home-cooked egg roll lover. What kind do you like? So far I've gotten a couple of different varieties and didn't like either of them. So yeah, and now I'm going to ask this, and then I'm not going to want anything to do with egg rolls. I'll move on to something else. Anyway, so now that I've given you a little life update, let me first say thank you to all my new subscribers. I have jumped again a little bit in numbers, and if you are new here, welcome. I hope that you will stick around for more of my weekly updates. I'm here pretty much every Friday to share kind of what I've been stitching on. It is predominantly cross stitch. I do chat a little bit about some of my life, and that's not going to change. And I follow a pretty consistent format of this, then this, then this, and that is because that is what works best for my brain. I do have all of my show notes organized in my awesome Flosstube and Stitch journal that I got. This is Artist Designs. Amanda May sells these on Amazon. And I will link it below. I've linked it in the past when I first got it, and I'm loving it. So each week I put my notes about what I'd like to share, about what I stitched, if I've had any finishes, FFOs, and this is just a fun way for me to kind of look back and see, hey, you know, what was going on that week, and what did I work on, and what was I enjoying? So, what did I work on? Worked on quite a bit of stuff. I have 2 FFOs to share with you, excuse me. 2 FFOs of previously finished projects, and then I have another FFO that will come out at some point to share. An FO. No, 2 FFOs and 1 FO. And 1 new start. And then some projects that I worked on for Enchanting Stitching Challenges, which is one of the challenge groups I participate in. And this month we are doing the movie Coco themed projects. It's all Disney themed. And then I am also part of the School of Magical Stitches and Literature, and we are in year 7. I am a Ravenclaw. And I am trying to do both because I enjoy both and make the projects fit for both groups and overlap. I am also participating in Jen Lee's 20 Quirks and Stitches, 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic this month, which is rewind time, and I actually finished that with my projects this week, so I am done. I got somewhere between 200 and 500 stitches in each of the projects for each one of those. Again, I found ways to make the projects I was already working on fit with those. And then I did participate in Stitchopoly for a while, but I have not posted in a while. I was at the end of a roll. It wasn't like I missed the 48-hour cutoff. And today I was like, I had already accumulated 9 entries. I just said, you know what? I can't have one more thing in my headspace right now. And I tagged the admin and said, hey, I'm done playing, but I didn't want to lose my entries. I get to keep them. I know they also in Semi-Stained Stitchers are still doing the Stitcher games. And there's some people that are left that are like really rocking it. So it's awesome. To those of you, I know I welcomed all my new folks, but you know what? Let me also say hello again to all of you that are coming back week after week, commenting and sharing what you like seeing and what projects I'm working on that you're enjoying seeing, and maybe, you know, even answering about my quippy little things like, what's your favorite egg roll? So, where should we start? I think we will start with FFOs, fully finished objects. And so, I'll go in order of how I finished them. I FFO'd them in the same day. I can't remember which one I did first. But I do know that I finished, these were actually finishes from last week. So if you'll remember, I finished last week, and I did share these. I finished Spring Acorns by the Blue Flower, and I also finished Carrot Forest by Owl Forest Embroidery. So I did a full finish on Spring Acorns. And so I had found, it was a sign from Michael's. My back is not great. Ignore that. But it's all well attached. But it was a sign that was in the Christmas section that was normally a $10 sign, but they had them on sale for $4.99. It was the perfect size. It had a chalkboard print on it, which I thought was maybe going to work. But then when I I did this flat finish first. And what I used was matte board. I bought a big giant sheet of white matte board from Michael's. It's back by their framing area. It's in their like self-serve framing area. And I got a huge piece. It's like 2 feet by 3 feet or something like that for about $8. So I cut that to the size. I had an X-Acto knife. I traced it and cut it to this size. And then I used some cotton batting. And then the back is laced. And finished that. And then I kind of played around with some different fabrics. And I found this one. And this is a Rifle Paper Company print. And it has these, it has some little animals, jackrabbits and things. Not jackrabbits, just rabbits. Wild hares. It's got some other little critter over here running about on it. But I liked how this green made it pop. And then this is some light, super light blue cotton lace that I purchased off of Victorian Motto Sampler Shop's eBay shop. And I will link that below because she actually sells flosses, some trims, and a couple of her charts there on her eBay shop. And so I love this. I love how it turned out. I also, with this, did go ahead and put a layer of batting here, and then I finished this off. I did kind of a fold up here. It's not super tight, so I need to fix this. And then this is stuck on. So that one is fully finished, and I love it, and I think this is going to be a year-round piece. I think it's going to go in my craft room / office that is currently under massive construction, aka it is full of junk and needs to be cleaned and organized. And so this will probably stay in there. I don't know that for a fact, so we'll see. All right, so my next fully finished object is one that I did kind of a total different take on it. And when I shared my finish last week, I talked about how I had not completed the full pattern with the full border and all of that because I just was not feeling it. And I had a different idea in mind for the finish, and I didn't need it to be any bigger than it was, and I liked how it was going to look. So this one is one that I finished, and it's going to go to my mom. It's going to go up into her shop. So I finished, this is Al Forest Embroidery Carrot Forest, and I finished it into a tufted drum. So what I did, and I am not a pro at this. I totally took this and was like, we're going to figure this out. I took it and first I pressed it. Then I took my piece of white batting and cut it to the size and basted or stitched all the way around all the edges so it would kind of hold it firm. And then I made it into a tube. And then once I turned it right side out, actually I think I left it the other way around. I did like a gathering stitch. Actually, this one I did machine stitched, and then I finished it hand stitched, and I didn't like how challenging it was. So when I got to the top, I did do that one fully hand stitched and gathered it and, you know, stuck it under and all that. And then I filled it with crushed walnuts, which the crushed walnuts, come to find out, are often used in lizard terrariums and also in brass polishing for when you reload bullet shells. And so I went on Amazon and I was searching for crushed walnuts because I had found some in a very small package. And I was like, there's got to be something better. Turns out, if you buy the small pack that's made for pincushions, you get like 12 ounces for $6. I got like a 5-quart bag. It's huge, of crushed walnuts that is terrarium. And it's funny because when I read the reviews, it was like, can be used. I use this in my pincushions, and I have a ton left. I use this in my brass reloading, and like very few people said, I use this for my lizard, and he loves it. So I will link that below too because it was a great deal. I'm gonna have like crushed walnuts for days, but it's got a good weight to it, and it will stand up on its own. And then I just used cotton fill and stuffed it until I felt like I liked it. Pulled it and gathered it, and then I created this fun little, this is just some green wool felt that I got at Joann's, and then I did a covered button out of a fun little fabric that I thought went. So I'm excited. I think I'm going to give this to her at Thanksgiving time maybe, and I think it turned out super cute. I love it. This is still my favorite, and I wanted to make sure that I fully showcased all of the stitching, top and bottom, a couple little bunnies. So yeah, 2 fully finished objects. So I guess we'll go into talking about whips. And let me go ahead and start with, I didn't work on this first this week. This was actually, I like seeing, like I know Michelle G does this. I know there's quite a few people that participate in Tranquil Stitches Cheryl's Daily 30 group. That is a very, very closed, tightly knit group. They kind of limited the membership. I think that's awesome to keep it small and compact. I'm doing a daily 30 focus, and so I picked a project this week that was the only thing I worked on for 30 minutes during my lunch. And I actually got a finish on it this week. So this is, did I take the card out? I did. So it's Little House Needleworks, All Things Are Possible to Him Who Believe, or Believe for short. And so I did go ahead and get a finish on this. I did not stitch the border because the finish I have in mind for this, I don't feel like it needs it. This is on a piece of, I think it's like an 18 count that I got in a mystery, like an 8x8 grab bag from Colour Cotton. And I stitched it in the crescent colors that it came with, which crescent colors, if you are familiar, are now classic Colorworks. Excuse the pattern, but it has the floss kit with this. I got this off of Stash Unload at some point. And so I have this one now finished. That's another finish. Yay. And that was one of my Focus on Efficient Finish November pieces. And so I get to check another one off and move on to another daily 30 or another 30-day focus project, 30-minute focus project, excuse me. And so I know that my next one's going to be Noah's Welcome Mat until I get that one finished. That will be my 30-minute stitching time. Now this week, because I don't have work, I will just find 30 minutes uninterrupted. That'll be what I work on around lunchtime. So I want to go ahead and do a pass the stash. So if you are interested in stitching this Little House Needleworks Believe, I'm going to include the chart and what remains of the crescent colors, which is like over half of each of these. I think the only one that I used more than 2 or more than 1 maybe of the individual strands, the yard strands, was the green. So I think there's more than enough in here to stitch the entire pattern with the border. However, if not, like I said, these are classic Colorworks colors. So if you are interested in stitching this pattern, this chart, please comment below and you will say, I want to stitch Believe. I will be looking for the word believe. Standard rules apply. You must be 18 in order to legally give me your address to send it to. It will be open for 2 weeks time. I don't know that with next Friday's video. You know what? No, I'll do this one next Friday. So you have until like probably next Friday morning before I pull names to say you want to stitch Believe. And don't say giveaway. I will delete your comment if you say giveaway. So yep, if you are interested, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so I'm kind of moving some things around. And now Batbirds will have to find a new project to have in it. I'm sure there is something in the amount of plans I'm going to talk about here shortly. All right, so then homework this week. So when we last talked, I still had part of a homework to complete. I also spent some time working on Grateful, Thankful, Blessed. So I think I'm going to share those and then I will talk about homework. So when we spoke last week, I had started Grateful, Thankful, Blessed. And for those who are unfamiliar, this is a heartstring samplery pattern and it is a freebie on her website. I do link it below. Another just quick reminder, when this goes up, it will not have all the details, but I do fill them in pretty quickly, usually tomorrow in the morning. I take time to do that. She shares the candle holder that she uses, and I was able to find it at the Hobby Lobby, and it was on sale 50% off, so it's $3.49. So I have it to fully finish, which is awesome. I'm excited when that comes around, which is actually coming rather quickly. So I am stitching this in the called for, which are 2 classic Colorworks and a Gentle Arts. And I am stitching this on a piece of 40 count Beach Brew linen. And this is going fast and I am loving it. It's the tiniest little stitches. I am stitching it 1 thread over 2. So 1 over 2. And I'm loving it so far. So all the words are done. About half the vine or 1/3 of the vine is done. So I have some more of the vining to do, and then I have these cute little, they're coming up orange, but they're more like golden flowers. So this is a fun one. I did go ahead and put this in my magical moth pouch because it needed a cute project to go in it. So that is living in there. It's living in this pouch. Let me toss these on the floor, in the bucket on the floor. All right, so I will show Hoity Toity at the end because that was also part of homework. So this week for Magical Stitches homework, we had to post by Sunday evening. There was 4 tasks and we had to post, we had to have a project for all 4 tasks. And then if you had nothing to fit all of them, then you had to put a 5th whip. And then they spun a wheel and it was either 1 through 4. And if you had something for every one, then whatever number it spun, you would put 500 stitches into that. I accomplished that on Monday. I picked Ink Circles Rosetta for one of the tasks, and I was super excited that it got chosen. Last week, we chatted a little bit about how I was struggling with having swapped over to 1 thread and what that was looking like, and was it going to stay that way, and yada, yada, yada. And I think I'm still on the fence, and y'all gave me some awesome feedback. There were quite a number of people that are like, no, don't frog it. Some people said, hey, stitch some more, and then you may have to go back, which was kind of what I'm leaning towards. And some people were like, oh, I can totally tell where it is. And I was like, hey, Eagle Eyes, you're awesome. You're better than me because I couldn't tell. So I'm still sitting a bit on the fence. This lives in a So Much to Love pouch. This is my Paris pouch, because these kind of remind me of stained glass windows. I know I share that every week, but I like that detail about it. So I finished, or I think I had finished this motif last week when I shared it. And so I put in some more of the Cinders color here. And then I've started on this motif, the next motif. This is on a piece of Mystic Fabrics. Snert is the colorway. It is on her website. I do link her at least once pretty much every week, because I have a piece of her fabric on at least one project most weeks. And I am doing this in my own colorway. This is actually, I'm sorry, Mystic Fabrics 20 count Snert. It is an opalescent Aida. And I'm doing this in a full Gentle Arts color conversion where every motif is a different color and the outlines are all in cinders, all of the center motifs. So this is where I've gotten to. So as you can see, I finished this motif last week. I've added in this additional in the cinders. So pretty much from here over this whole corner right here, all the way down here, this is going to be a gorgeous cross type shape. And then all the way over here, and then a little bit there. And then as you can see, I started this next motif, and this is in Gentle Arts Dragonfly. So this was Verdigris, which I am done with, and this is Dragonfly. And then as you can see, it's cinders. So here's where I am noticing where I swapped, and I thought this might be where it would be. From the 2 strands to the 1 strand, and it was in cinders. This looks beautiful. But right here where this is really concentrated, and right here where it's really concentrated, my eye is drawn to that. That's the only place I'm really noticing it. So my thought is, like even this that's 2, that's not really bothering me. It's right here and this whole corner. So more than likely these will at some point get frogged and restitched with 1 strand. More than likely when this one will happen is when I go to complete the remainder of this motif. This one might happen sooner rather than later, because once I kind of keep moving this way, I don't want to come back. But since I'm going to be coming down here to complete this, that wouldn't be such a big problem, I don't think. So yeah, I still love this. It's on my 8x11 Q-snap because I'm hopeful to maybe get some more to fit another task, or to get some more in it. I try to get it into 1 task a week. Oh, I've got flosses coming out of project bags where they aren't belonging. So here's my color palette. All awesome colors. I literally just went to the Gentle Arts wall at my LNS, which is the Stitch Niche, and just went, yes, 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 yes. And I pulled all the colors I loved, laid them out, figured it out, made myself, like I literally took pictures of how I laid it out there on the table so that I would remember, and then I made myself a chart when I got home. And I am loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. I'm loving these project bags too. I've possibly bought more. And I possibly also, I signed up for the bag of the month for next year. She just posted it sold out. I assume if I signed up before that, that means I get them. I don't know. I don't know. And Aaron, 2 Martini Stitcher, I think you said you're signed up for it, or you are going to sign. So we're going to be bag twins, like to the nth degree. We might be bag twins this week with some more. Okay, so then in Enchanted Stitching Challenges, there were 4 tasks. I know some other folks go really in depth to what they are. For time's sake, I'm just going to show you what I worked on for them. I did use Rosetta for one of those tasks. I am still, as far as I know, qualified for Royal, which is 250 stitches in every project for the entire month. So I am super pumped about that. Obviously, Rosetta got 524, and I counted all 524 for that 250, which is fine. You can go over. So then I also, I remember there was a task that talked about, okay, so I'm going to tell you because I've now remembered. There's a task that talked about something with bones, because they all are skeletons. So it had to be something that had a skeleton, or had bones. So like it could be a person, it could be an actual skeleton you stitch on, but you had to stitch on that thing with bones. So can you guess what I picked? My favorite thing that has bones currently, forever and always, would be my Squirrely Welcome. This is Squirrely Welcome. This is a pattern of mine. And they have been named. I have named them this week because I feel as though they remind me a little bit of some aunties I had back in the day who just would sit and Twitter about things and chitter chatter and all that. And like squirrels are kind of chitter chattery. And so my two squirrels are Flossie and Gertie. So Flossie and Gertie Squirrel. Squirrelington. I don't know if that's their last name, but I think that's cute. These live in a Love You More Studio co-pouch. This is one. I don't think these are still available. I purchased it quite some time ago. I do have my Snippatty from Catty Cross Stitch in here that's holding my mulberry, which I think I am officially done with all the mulberry. Because both squirrelies are stitched. I think I'm done with mulberry. I think I've got, the next color I will do is sarsaparilla, which is the acorn tops. They're acorn berets. Anyway. And the insides of their bushy brown tails. And then there's all the welcome part, which the welcome I think is like, what is that in? That's a good question. So, yeah, sarsaparilla is the inside of their shells. Oh, so the welcome part down at the bottom is done in Grasshopper and Classic Colorworks Wild Berries. So this is a pattern I do intend on releasing in my Etsy shop, but I am still waiting. I would like to have it finished. For this one, I would like to have it finished. I think that if I can get to a point where I feel confident that there's no pattern anomalies or anything, I can go ahead and get it charted into a PDF. Oh, and that is on a piece of 36. I think it's 36. I don't want to misspeak. It's either 36 or 40. Where'd that baggie go that has my little cutesy XG Designs tag? 36 count XG Designs in Little Dove. And I'm loving stitching on her fabrics. I like all the fabrics. All the fabrics. Okay, not all the fabrics. Although I saw a video. Who was I watching? Country Stitches. And they were doing kind of a little play on a stitch with me kind of a thing. And they were talking about they were starting up Joy of Needlework by Heartstring Samplery. That they're doing kind of as a stitch along. And I think they're both doing it on a week's dye work that's the Zweigert base. So they were able to get some. And I know that I've seen some on Kitten Stitcher. And a couple of other places have started to get some of the Zweigert fabrics. Bases, here's the thing though, they're not in every color. They're in just kind of their more neutral, primitive looking colors. I am waiting on, for sure, one project in hopes, before I pick something else, in hopes that Aztec Red will get transferred over to Zweigert here pretty quick. It's that pomegranate pin pocket and pouch, or pin pocket and pocket and pin cushion. Ugh. That didn't make any sense. I'm also loving that HL Moth is back here on my wall. And Hermione's up over my shoulder, like telling me what to do. All the good things. So I really want to do that one as called for, which is a 30 count Aztec Red. Somebody reach out to me and tell me, because I tried desperately. Now, granted, this was back in my Aida's The Only Way I'm going to Stitch. I really wanted to do a chart on that gingham that Weeks has. It was so floppy. So my question is, because it's charted on 30 count, and so it's kind of bigger, over 2. Is it as bad as I remember it? Is it still super, or can I get it pretty taut and not wonky in my Q-snap? Because I might be persuaded to go ahead and purchase that. I might. We'll see. We'll see. Not that I need to purchase anything. So Rosetta was for another task. I don't remember which one that was for. Then there was something about something. Oh, Forgotten. Because the character Hector is in jeopardy of being forgotten. because his photograph has not been on the ofrenda for quite some time. I don't think I'm giving anything away. I should have been like, spoiler, spoiler, if you haven't watched Coco. Okay, anyway. So they suggested you could stitch on a project that you had forgotten you'd bought things for. I don't think there's anything I've forgotten that I've bought stuff for, because it's all sitting looming and looking at me going, use me, use me, use me, use me. Stitch on me, stitch on me. But after October, with all those starts, one of the ones that I was loving, but because I kind of got busy with Hoity Toity and Rosetta and some of these other ones, was playing with jacks. And I forgot how much I was enjoying it and haven't stitched on it. So I went ahead and pulled that out. So this is playing with jacks. I am, however, doing the one with the non-jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. The pumpkin in the middle. I think this is called a forest pumpkin. Maybe. It's by the Cricket Collection. And I am stitching this on Erin's Called For fabric. That's Erin of 2 Martini Stitchers. It's 32 count. Picture This Plus in Valor. And I also used her suggestion of the center leaves. They were charted in a Silken Colors. I don't remember which one. Autumn Bouquet, maybe? But she was using Autumn Foliage. I loved it. So I snatched that idea and I used it. I am also using a Bitsy Bob in this cute spidery cutesy print to hold it. And this lives. This project's very expensive between all the bags and the pouches and the things and the whatever. This is in a Diddly Daddle Designs bag with these cute little crows. So I got like 200 and some odd, 300 and some odd, some amount of stitches in this. So here's where it is now, and I totally just bumped the tripod, and I apologize. It was like an earthquake. Earthquake. So I finished out, this center was all done. I finished out the white checkerboarding on this side, and then I went ahead and did this dusty purple, dusty lavender checkerboarding on this side. This side is off, and or this side is off. One of them is off. I had to fudge it. It is what it is. I don't really want to continue to hash out my theory on things. But you know what? I'm okay with imperfections in my work because I am not a perfect person. I never will be. My stitching will never be perfect. It will likely never be something that would win the State Fair of Texas, because I'm going to tell you, the things that are there are insanely amazing. And Texas is huge. We need like county fair. We need like neighborhood fair. I could maybe win a cross stitch competition in my neighborhood, because I might be the only one. Although there might be somebody who's even better than me. Oh well, whatever. So then I also pulled out Hoity Toity this week. It loves to come out and play and have some stitches put in it. So this is Long Dog Samplers. Hoity Toity. And I am stitching this. Oh, I know why I picked this one. Because it was something about a gift. And guess what? I was gifted the silks from Mrs. Sados's Raquel. Raquel at Mrs. Sados gifted me the Hoity Toity silks. And so I am stitching this entirely in the Hoity Toity silks. And this is on a piece of 18 count. Picture This Plus in Legacy. It is gorgeous. This lives on an 8x11 Q-snap and lives currently in a Diddly Daddle Designs bag. However, it will be moving to something else, to another project bag. So this is where I got to this week. So I think I put in somewhere around 320 or some amount of stitches. So I finished out both of these motifs as well as this vining. This is the edge of page 1. The edge of page 1 down here is somewhere right here. So I'm kind of trying to take it page by page. I finished this butterfly lollipop. It's actually 2 butterflies on a lollipop. I finished out these little Quaker triangles as well as this. Dying at that urn. It's amazing. And this bird, duck, I don't know what he is, but he's amazing. Amazing. And then I realized this, and as I was stitching this bottom wing portion, that butterfly is one stitch that way. It doesn't really matter, except that there's going to be 3 stitches on this side and 1 stitch of black on this side, but it'll be all, you know, filled in around. So what I have to remind myself, and I've kind of made a note in my chart, is that when I go to start stitching the next motif, it needs to all go 1 stitch that way from where this is to get back on track. So I'm nearly done with page 1, with the exception of a little bit of motif here. Some starting, I think there's one big bird that starts right here that I'm excited to start. And then obviously I need to fill in some black. And so this weekend or over Thanksgiving, I think I'm going to try to get some more of the black filled in and get page 1 complete. I'm kind of excited about that, the prospect of that. It's moving faster, but some of that is because when I sit down to chart it for stitches, I highlight, see, I use an iPad, and I highlight in my chart with yellow what I'm planning to stitch, and I have my stitch count in there. But as I'm counting, I'm trying to find everything in a symbol on the page for the most part. That way I'm not like, when I was working on this took me like 3 different stitching sections, not because it's like huge or anything, but like some of these little middle colors I didn't get to until I was doing like this vining. And I kind of try to pick, okay, well, I knew there was a lot of black. Well, the black kind of came last because I wanted to get some of these colors done, and then the colors were elsewhere. That's kind of how I'm tackling this, and it seemed insurmountable at the beginning because I've never worked a project quite like this or quite this intricate with this many like kind of tweaky color changes. This is a system that has worked for me. It's kind of color completing within the page or within the motifs. We shall see, because there's some that starts to get like, there's that band of the chevroning that's further down. There's some other things that may get worked in a kind of slightly different method, but the only thing I'm really parking, so to speak, is the black. And I actually have a parked here and a parked here, because when I finished this black, I had a fairly decent strand left. So I went ahead and did 1 stitch here and parked it to know that like now I have a strand here and a strand here to run off of. Debbie at Creatively Yours is also stitching this in the silks. We are hashtagging it Hoity Toity Silky Sal, and hers is coming along nicely too. I do think it's interesting. I looked at hers when she posted it. Pardon me. And she had stitched the black outline and then was going to fill in the leaves. So she's even hers is taking shape in different ways. Raquel herself, I believe, is stitching this, but she started center. So she's stitching things that I may not see for a year. We'll see how fast this goes. I don't know. But I'm really excited about this. I'm excited about my finishes, my FFOs. I am hopeful. Let me move this so maybe I don't bump it again. I am hopeful that I have a couple more projects on my Focus on a Finish November. I had 9 to start out with, 9 or 10. 2 of them I have to get done because I really need to get those FFOs done. So I know I'm going to focus big time. We're kind of we're not really going to plans yet. So I will talk about plans in a minute because I did have a start. It is the most pitiful start ever. But I started it last night. I was exhausted, but I was like, I plan to start it. I really want to start it. I want to try it. I'd already moved in here. I was sitting in my bed, which has not great lighting. I didn't have my aunt light. I did the best I could. I literally had my iPad underneath because I started Thankful and Grateful chalk, and this is from Hands On Designs. Me trying to stitch on linen, for 1. For 2, it's 32 count. It's slate. And trying to stitch it in the dark, basically. So I have literally the tiniest, most pitifulest start right there. But what I did was, because I was like, I'm not getting back up. I had my iPad underneath and it was kind of shining through, and that was helping me. So I will tell you, I sat down yesterday because I really like the orangey color, the orangey brownie color. So I am doing it with Gentle Arch chalk. I had it, so I'm going to use it. That is what's called for. And then Heirloom Pumpkins is what I'm using, which is a really pretty variegated. Well, I love this. So if you can see on this chart, there's a lot more of the white than there is the orangey colors. So I kind of went through and drew myself a schematic. So I said that I'm going to swap this, and is going to be in white. Thankful and Grateful are both going to be in the orangey, that brown orange color. The two long dividers are going to be checkerboarded. White, orange, white, orange, white, orange. These are going to stay the same. This top motif's going to stay the same. The only thing I haven't decided is these arrows, but I think for the sake of not getting too much of the orange brown, those will stay white. So I'm going to kind of try that out and see what it looks like. I just can't leave well enough alone. Oh well. So I'm going to get some more into that for sure. So let's chat a tiny bit about plans. Let me put this back in real quick. And this lives in a plasticky project bag for now. I've got some fruit basket turnovers in project bags, but you know, I don't use anything until I show it, and I've got some to show. So once I show them, I can do some fruit basket turnover. All right, so let's talk about plans. Needless to say, homework will come out again on Monday or Sunday night. Magical Stitches is usually, sometimes is on Saturday night. But I try, because my goal this month was to hit Royal for Enchanting Stitches. I tried to wait to plan Magical Stitches until I know what Enchanting Stitches is, so that I can for sure get those 250 stitches. Just because that was a bigger goal for me this month. I did already finish 24 hours of cross stitch acrostics. I finished that whole thing. So that's kind of checked off my to-do list. So tomorrow, Stitchonomy starts. Today was the last day of sign-up, so unfortunately, if you were not able to get on and sign up, I do know she eventually releases it as a pattern format, like at the end, but the whole stitch-along starts tomorrow. I have gone ahead. I'm super bummed. I ordered, like, on the 4th of November, flosses from Colour Cotton. And their website clearly states that that's 3 to 5 business days to ship those out. Now, fabrics, it's very clear, like, fabrics are going to take longer because they're hand-dyed and blah, 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 whatever. Like, long, drawn out, yada, yada. I said, oh, I got plenty of time. I ordered them. Twiddling my thumbs. So finally, last night, I was like, I have to pick DMC, or I have to pick whatever. So I've pulled the called for DMC. I've also pulled, some of them are, have an etoile, a DMC etoile. So I pulled some of those. I had a really pretty blue, white, and gray DMC Colorworks variegated that I pulled. So I'm just going to go with it. And if they show up, I may pull them in, or they'll just get added to my Colour Cotton floss rings when they get here, when they decide to finally ship. I don't know. But that is one thing that's really interesting. Some companies are really transparent, and it's easy to find out information like, hey, are your times running long? Are you having health concerns that I should maybe be praying for and stop worrying about where my order is? It'll get to me when it gets to me. And I think I need to take that stance, just whatever the case. But I feel like some companies, it's easier to find information. And that was the one thing, is I'm not going to email about my order. I might. I mean, if it gets to the month, like if we get to the week after Thanksgiving and there's no update on when it's going to ship, I am going to send an email and just be like, hey, can you maybe tell me an update? Like, I'm pretty patient. I really am. But I like to have good communication. And when I ran an Etsy shop, because I did, I am not foreign to making handmade items. I was into planner stickers. I'm kind of going off on a little story time. I was into the planner culture. I still am. You've seen my paper planners. But I actually designed, cut, and sold planner stickers. And had a pretty successful shop. And then it just got to be too much because I was teaching full time and had a 4-year-old at the time. And it was not the right thing for me. But there was a time when I got behind, and all I had to do was reach out and be clear and transparent with my customers as to where my what was going on, because it happened that it was like I broke my ankle. Like, I was moving slowly because I literally was moving slowly. So I think that that was the only thing that just made me sad, is like, I got on Instagram. There's nothing on Instagram. I got on Facebook. Last post on Facebook was I don't know how long ago. And the website where it says like order updates or like shipping times or whatever it says, it still says the same verbiage. But I will say, as of this morning, I did get there was an email that came through to be notified, because I had asked to be notified about mystery boxes, and I know that there was an email that came out, and so it explains some of what's been going on and why things are more delayed, and that they're really trying to push out, you know, current orders. So hopefully it will come soon. I'll slot those in on another project at some point. They're beautiful flosses. Nothing is going to deter me from still buying things from them. I just kind of moderately wish there was better communication or easier information to find, so I don't have to be like, I wonder where it went. So Stitchonomy starts tomorrow. I am starting Gobble Gob by Plum Street Samplers on Thanksgiving Day. And then in December, it's basically start all the things, because I sat down and thought, what all am I going to start? So I had already talked about Prince of Peace being my Advent. So that will be like my daily 30 for Advent reflection. I don't know what time of day. It won't be my lunch stitching, but it might be that like I get up in the morning and instead of being on Facebook for 30 minutes, I could stitch 30 minutes on that piece and set my mind in the right place first thing in the morning. And that's probably a good thing to do just in general. I am going to be doing the Advent candle ornaments. That is a Heartstring Samplers fairly new release. I think it came out about Needlework Galleria time. And they're really small. And so I'm going to try to stitch one a week. So I would start week 1 on that Sunday. I don't know that it'll be all FFO'd, but I would like to stitch one per week. I need to get the fabric for that. It does call for a 40 count, and I have an idea of which one I'd like, but I have to figure out where to buy it from, because it's not on 1, 2, 3 stitch, so I may have to find something else. All right, then of course I am doing Barbara Anna Bam, which is, I talked about this last week. I am doing a kind of modified bingo. It's only a 9 square bingo with 9 Barbara Anna projects. And it's just a way for me to start all those ones that I've been looking at and wanting to start, but doing it kind of like, hey, what am I going to start this week? So I have it starting on the days of 3s. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. I think the last one is on the 27th. So then, if that was not enough, I had found back in like April on Plum Street Samplers website blog. I'll link it below. It is where I had found the Noah's Welcome mat that goes along with the Noah's Christmas Ark. She has amazing freebies on her website. If you are not utilizing some of these fantastic designers' websites for their freebies, you're missing out, because that Heartstring Samplery one is awesome, and there's a couple of other, I think, on her website. And then Plum Street is chock full, including a fantastic 12 Days of Christmas ornament series. And so I am going to start those, and I'm counting it as one whip. Just in my grand scheme, it's one whip, the 12 Days of Christmas, but I am going to start one each day of the 12 Days of Christmas. So like first day of Christmas would be the 26th, which means when I travel to New York on the 26th, I will have 2 new starts when I am in New York, which will be kind of cool, actually, I think. So basically, December is start all the things. I have plans for maybe a couple of even other things smattered throughout. Basically, I'm doing this because January, I'm cracking down on myself. January, the axe is going to fall. Mama got to stop, Mama Bear. Mama got to stop spending so much money on stuff and start using the stash and start using the things I already have. And Mama got to stop starting all the things before finishing all the things. Now, I've talked about that every other month I'm going to do focus on a finish. So I did focus on a finish November. January will be a focus on the finish. Then March. Then May. And so Mania for me, I'm already kind of thinking ahead, which is bonkers, I know. But Mania is going to kind of be like a focus on the finish Mania. So how many projects can I finish in May? Let's see how Mania I can get with that. Then July, September, and November. So those will be my focus on the finished months. And then alternatingly, all bets are off. Because October this year was outrageous October, and it will be outrageous October next year as well. But I will not start anything that already has a birthday that's still available, if that makes sense. It's kind of how some people do Mania. Like, since I started Hoity Toity on my birthday, that, until that project is finished, no other project can have that as its birthday, kind of a thing. So that will be always my birthday until it is finished, which I don't think will be next year. I think that might be a 2021 or beyond. We'll see. We'll see. So this past week I participated in the Bags Plus live sale, and any of you that also participated in it saw I treated myself to my Christmas, and so some things are coming, and I will tell you that some of the things I bought are not for me. They are for giveaways, because I have 500 I think coming up soon. And then hopefully shortly thereafter, we might even have 1,000 coming. So we'll see how quickly that comes. So again, start all the things. December, start all the things. Hashtag start all the things. So let's talk a little bit about stash, because, you know, let's talk about stash. So I grown Totten bags. I did not get any bags this week, but I saw this plaid and had to have it. And I want him to do a bag in this. So I am in need of a couple of grime guards because I have a few, but they're kind of puny. And some of my projects have a lot of fabric. And so I went ahead and I loved this. So I bought both sizes that I use. And these will actually, this 8x8 will fit on my 6x8. It's got a little extra room, which is good. So this is an 8x8. And I love that he puts them on a, my stars. Too much sparkling water. It's got me all bubbly in my throat. He puts the tag on it so you know what size it is. An 8x8, and I love this plaid. And this was the interior of one of his bags, and I said, I need a bag like this. I need a bag out of this. I love me some plaid. And then I went ahead and got it in the 11x11, which will fit my 8x11 with some extra room. And then he sent me, Aaron, I have one too. I got this cool like poker chip. I don't know what you call these. Token, like an old wooden nickel. Needle minder. So yay! Grown Totten bags, needle minder, and some grime guards. Check. Oh, so I just had a picture delivered to me of Santa. He's fancy. I like his hands. He's like jazz hand Santa. Jazz hand Santa. So this is going to go up there because, you know, I gotta love all the hand-drawn things from my artiste. Okay. So then, waist-side downsizes. If you followed her on Instagram, she did a huge de-stash of everything. Because, like, I really need to do that, but she had some amazing things. I managed to snag a piece of 32 count Pictures Plus in Willow. I think this is a beautiful golden yellow color. This is coming up pretty good. It's maybe a little bit less rich looking, but still really pretty. That's really good. They call me Mellow Yellow. That used to be like my favorite Gap commercial. So anyway, pretty piece. It's a fat quarter. It's nice. It was a good price on it. De-stash is coming, folks. So I might be acquiring things into my stash, but I'm finding things that like does not bring me joy anymore. So peace out, yo. It's coming next week. I don't know the exact specifics, but it's coming next week. All right, so let's talk some charts. So we had some that came from Stash Unload. We got some that came from 123 Stitch. So first, from Stash Unload, this seller had a few of these. I purchased the other 3 that I knew for sure I wanted to do. So You Hold My Heart, which again, I'm going to tweak that a little bit. Look at this one! Plant Seeds of Joy. So I for sure am going to do this one, and it's going to have to go in my stitchy spot. I will tweak this one too a little bit. And then I like this one, Red, White, and BBQ. I like that one. So I know for sure I've got those 3, and then I have Peace on Earth. That's another one that's probably going to get started next week. Okay, so then from somebody else on Stash Unload, Patricia Geary actually is who did these. She had 2 of the Erica Michaels berries from last year's club kits, and in different accumulations here. So Woodland Berry, she had, it's the All About Berries Club. So this one, it has a funky little squirrel on top, and he's awesome, and a funny looking dog too. And it has the linen. So this one has the linen. It doesn't have any of the finishing materials or the threads, but that's okay. I think they're both charted also in DMC. And then she had, this is the Tudor Rose, and I think it's gorgeous. And this one comes with the flosses and the finishing wool. So this one does not have the linen. So, love these. I'm excited. No plans, but I'm kind of loving the berries. I'm getting like Jennifer Upton. She was all about the berries for a while. I have like a whole running wish list of them. All right, so then from 123 Stitch, I went ahead and snagged Noah's Christmas Arc 3. I'm exceptionally excited about this one. Do you see why? Squirrels! Squirrels. Cannot wait, cannot wait, cannot wait. I will not jump ahead. I will not jump ahead. I'm going to tell myself, I will not jump ahead. Stitch them in order. I'd seen somebody post this, so I went ahead and grabbed it because it was in the shop and it was a little bit on sale. And it's Bent Creek Acorn. I think these are adorable. Fun little stitch. I've heard these are pretty quick, so I'm excited about that. And then I saw somebody post an idea with these. I'm not going to share what my idea is, but I got all of them on 123 Stitch except one. Weird, I know. But the Y and Z, this is Calico Sampler 2012 from Summer House Stitchworks. And for what I'm wanting to do this with, I think I needed all but one set, and so I just bought them all. And they were on a little bit of a sale on 123 Stitch. This one I got from Homespun Sampler. Is that right? No. I got this from an eBay seller, I believe, and it was a really good price. I think she shipped it for 35 cents or something like that, and then, you know, the cost of the chart plus 35 cents. So I got Y and Z, and different numbers also are on here. No, it only is 2012. So I will have to rechart whatever date if I decide to do a date. I don't think I'm going to for my idea. So I got this one from an eBay seller. And then I got the rest. I got ABC, DEF, GHI, JKL, MNO, PQR, S, which is kind of funny looking because it kind of looks like a Y, STU, V, W, and X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. So I have an idea for these. I'm not sharing it yet, but I went ahead and grabbed them because you never know when a chart's going to go out of print. And then you're like, I need that chart because I had that idea. So that's all my chart acquiring that happened this week, which was quite a lot. But some are going, so some can come in, I suppose. All right, then, let's see. I got a shipment of fabrics from XU that I had ordered a bit ago. I have some more on the line. And she sent me a freebie of some beautiful mulberry silk. Tussa silk. Mulberry silk. As a freebie. I got a piece of 32 count linen in hunter green, which I think is beautiful. This one is gorgeous. This is a big piece too. This is a piece of 40 count in rose, and it's a 19 by 27. I am gonna undo the cute little twine because look at this. It's got this kind of like grunginess to it, like a grayish smattering here and there. It's beautiful. It's soft. Ugh, this is going to be beautiful to stitch on. I'm excited. All right, so then she got me, because the last order I got, she sent me a piece of this as a freebie, and I didn't know I needed it in my life until she sent it as a freebie, and it's a tiny little piece. So when I noticed she had posted more, I snagged some. This is 40 count in green apple, so you'll remember I got this as a tiny little, like maybe 4x4, 5x5 freebie, and so I grabbed a whole fat quarter. So I do have some more. I contacted her because I had seen a color that I really liked of hers, but it wasn't in the count I wanted. And so I contacted her through an Etsy message and said, hey, do you have any plans to dye this color? And she said, no, but I can do it for you. So she set up a custom listing, and I ordered another piece to get the free shipping. It comes from Hungary, and it actually comes pretty quickly. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty impressed. All right, so then to finish this out, this was hashtag Project Bags Week. So let's start with, what do we want to start with? Okay, so we're going to start with a stash unload find. Actually, no, we're not. I briefly signed up for the Slovak Farm project bags. So I got the small size, the 9x9. I'm gonna say this is probably not a super functional bag. This is gonna hold peace on earth for now, and then we'll see maybe an ornament or another ornament. But I'm gonna wait to buy some more of these because I kind of am liking a bag to be more plush and less like, this has got like interfacing in it, which is good. I mean, it's sturdy, but I want it to feel squishy. I'm becoming particular about what I spend my money on in terms of project bags. But this one will be good to hold the small chalk one, I think, is what it's going to hold. Because it doesn't need much more than that. So that one came. Then somebody posted on Stash Unload a So Much to Love. And it looked like a big project bag, like a big bottom bag. And they had it on a super steel, if it was that. It came in. It is. It's a big bottom bag. So it's got a gusset in it. So I'm excited. I have an idea. I kind of sat down with all my new bags and realized this is going to house a different project. Then that's going to hold something. And then I've got some other things moving or shuffling around. So then I was lucky enough to be on Instagram at the right place at the right time, and I grabbed a Kindred Stitcher bag. How gorgeous is this? Hydrangeas and raspberries. Insane. So can you guess what's moving into this bag? That's right, folks. This is going to house Hoity Toity, and it will fit Q-snap straight down in. So the Diddly Daddle is awesome, but I find that because I use the peels to hold my heart threads, it doesn't fit down in that bag easily and kind of shifts all wonky. So it's going to move in here, and Diddly Daddle has a new project going into it. So then I got on to Diddly Daddle to see if they had any more in-hand stitcher bags. And I am fairly certain that I am now bag twins again to the nth degree for at least one of these, if not both, to Erin of Two Martini Stitcher. We must be like telepathically telling each other to buy these bags. So I think, if I remember correctly, you have something either similar or this exact bag. So this is the old cool scissor bag. And it's got the macaron. It's got the little like lace flower on both sides. The pretty golden, white, and black stripe. The pretty primitive scissors. And then the inside has this pretty kind of polka dotty, like, and this is the smaller size. So this works for me when I don't have something on a Q-snap. It will actually fit my 6x8 Q-snaps with stuff on them. So I grabbed this one because I thought this is a good multi-purpose. And then I know for a fact we are bag twins. With the poinsettia. And so I got a pretty red poinsettia on both sides. I think yours had a red and a green, or a red and a white, and I got just a red. With then the green stripes. And did mine get the same? No, I didn't get the polka dot. So we're not complete bag twins. I just got red. Red kind of rough hewn homespun. But don't we have the same bag? Is this the same bag? I think so. And look at that, the red zipper. That's snazzy. All right, so I've shown you all 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I count? 2, 4, 5 project bags. Some grime guards, some fabric, some charts, some whips, some plans, some amazingness. I'm over an hour again. I swear I did not think this was going to take an hour. That's what happens when I get to chatting with you. So, I hope everybody has a great week. Don't forget, if you are interested in... Where'd it go? Hold on. If you're interested in stitching Believe, Little House Needleworks Believe with the crescent colors, say I want to stitch Believe and follow the rules. So with that, my friends, oh, I have one more thing to show you. I forgot. This is not Stitchy Stash. This is, I have another obsession, which is Ray Done things. But I am to the point now where I only buy things I super love, or things that I'm like, that's amazing, I've never seen it, and I must have it now. And I was at Home Goods last week, and I saw this, and I was like, snatch it off the shelf. Look at how cute this is. So it is a birdhouse. It says Dream Big. Makes it even better. It's a bank. It's a bank with a plug in the bottom. So this is going to serve a great purpose. It is in my stitchy spot. I'm going to start saving for something. Saving my coinage for something, or my dollars or whatever. For something in my dream big. Maybe for a retreat. Although I am going to that retreat in April, and I'm excited about that. I got to start saving for my hotel. I've already paid, but I'm going to have 2 nights in the hotel. Because I want another night of being, like, not at home. Not in the chaos that is home. My house is not chaos. But being, like, I feel like a hotel is kind of, even if you're just going for one night, is kind of a mini vacation. Anywho. Now I have sufficiently rambled. Thank you to all your kind words that you post to me each week here and on Instagram. You know, it really is just a true testament to, like, how uplifting this community is. I know folks are sharing me out there. I promise I will maybe someday. That was a lot of, like, vagueness in that statement. I promise maybe someday to be completely caught up on Flosstube. Here's the problem. I keep finding new people to watch. Although I am consistently pretty much watching the same people for sure every week. And then I add in some other fun things. There actually is one nail person that I watch that I love her day in the life vlogs. And I love watching her nail tutorials. And so that's fun. That's actually in, I have a playlist called Stitchy Time, which is I just turn it on and, like, start it from wherever I've left off and just watch. So if I don't comment on your video, it doesn't mean I'm not watching it. It just is, if I watch it on the big TV, there's not a good commenting function on there. I have to either be on my iPad or my computer. So thank you for sharing your gifts with me. Thank you for sharing your kindness and your thoughtful words. Thank you for bringing me joy each week. And I will continue to do this as long as somebody wants to watch it. And I probably still will do it even if nobody's watching. So with that, I'm going to head on to see what the artist is doing in the other room. We're going to start kind of winding down for the night, getting ready for bed. She's deserted me. She came in and snuck that picture in, but she had already left. I told her, I said, it's going to get boring. I think you're going to want to go. She's like, no, I'll be good. No, she left with like 10 minutes. Anyway, now she's back. She's creeping in. She heard her name. Her ears were burning. Anywho, have a great week. Have a great stitchy weekend. And I will not see you again before Thanksgiving. So if you are in the U.S. and you celebrate Thanksgiving, or if you're somewhere around the world and you celebrate Thanksgiving, like Rolodex, are you going to celebrate Thanksgiving over in Japan? And will that be the same? Will it be the same over there? I'd be curious about that. That's Carla at Rolodex Stitches. She's in Japan, but she's an American, and I'm wondering what she's going to have on her Thanksgiving meal. Will it be sushi? I don't know. Anyway, if you are in the U.S. and you celebrate Thanksgiving, I wish you a happy one. I will see you next Friday on Black Friday, and hopefully I will not be exhausted of all financial resources then. Black Friday shopping! So anyway, with that, I'm going to leave you for this week, and I will see you next week for number 29. Bye, friends!